What we'll be looking at today on this platform is the most repeated topic in Jamb and the Unified Examination. We're here today to direct you and to give you the hints, the very secrets that will help you get that very desired score and grade you are expecting. The best thing you can do to your friends is to bring them into this learning environment from Sigma Tech. Thank you as we do that. So, like I said earlier, what we're looking at today is that secret. That's very secret. In mathematics, when you come to Jamb and unified exams, that's what we are going to look at today. There are some topics that no matter they set their questions, you will see them in your Jamb. You will see them in your exam. And I'm here today to bring those topics to you. I will give some hints that will also guide you and help you so that as you prepare for your exam, you prepare without fear and with confidence, while others will be shivering and then wonder how they are going to do. You have the boldness to tell yourself that this exam, I'm going to make it. Like I said, the most repeated topics for your success in the exam, that's what we are after. And I'm here today to guide you. There are some topics, and these topics include under calculus. We talk about differentiation and integration. There are some rules in differentiation you must not forget, which has to do with the product rule, the quotient rule, the chain rule. Grab this knowledge. It will help you. Not just only that, the application of differentiation matters. That has to do with the rate of change of some particles. What they will take you to some particles, sometimes they look at time and other variable. They will bring it into the question. So you need to look at the rate of change. That is the application of differentiation. Take note of that very area. Most of the time, they will bring 2 or 3 questions that have to do with differentiate function, differentiate this function, and then, but applications, I tell you, you will see it in that your exam. So take note of that application of differentiation. Then, under integration, you know, integration have definite integral and then indefinite integral. Most of the time, they combine the two. They will bring the one on definite integral and also bring some questions under indefinite integral. So under indefinite integral, if I were you, look at areas that are bound by curves and lines. That's under integration. They will also bring some questions that have to do with integrative functions. So don't forget the rules that when you are integrating, the power of the letter, which is the variable, increases and you must divide by the new power plus c, which is a new parameter of variable which is to be discovered in that question added to it. That is if it is integration. So don't forget it. That is under integration and differentiation. Other topics, another topic you are going to see is indices. You know, in mathematics, they don't play with indices. It's like the model. Indices. So you must study your law, the laws of indices. There are up to about 6 to 7 laws of indices. That when you have something like this, that this is raised to power this, and then when you have something like this, a raised to power 4 multiplied by a raised to power 5. Don't forget this law that when the two bases are the same, what you just do, you add. So don't forget that law. So all the laws of indices, don't forget them. The square or the zero law, don't forget them. The fractional laws, don't forget them. So grab it because you are going to, it's not only in indices, in other areas or other subtopics or topics in mathematics, you also apply it. Then your quadratic equation. So your quadratic equation is very important. See, quadratic equation, very important. They will ask you, use the roots to form quadratic equations. If they don't ask you that, you may see a given equation and then ask you to derive the root from these quadratic equations. So don't forget the sum of roots and the product of roots. If they want to go for that, they will not take you to where they will give you something of this nature. Let's say, and then ask you to find the value of k. What are they saying? They are telling you what will you add to this to make this equation what? A perfect square. So don't forget how to do it. So doing this is that you have this, take the square of this, and that gives you this. I say what? Have this, I divide here by 2, which is the coefficient of x, divide here by 2, take your square, and then you get your answer. That is to say, if this is 8 divided by 2, you have 4. If I square it, and that gives me what? 16. So this is what will make this a perfect square. This area, don't forget it too. So in case they give you the root, one root, and then ask you to find a letter in any equation given to you under this quadratic equation, don't forget, you substitute the value of x into that equation, and then that letter given to you will be found. That is under quadratic equation. Don't forget it. I've told you differentiation, integration. I've told you quadratic equation. Don't forget it. Law of indices. These are some of the basic knowledge that if you take into your exam, I bet you are good to go. I will not forget to also remind you of logarithm. You know, logarithm and indices, they are two friends. Anywhere you see indices, if you don't take time, you see what? Logarithm. Anywhere you see logarithm, if you don't take time, you see what? Indices. They are two friends. They always work together. So you must also know their laws, the laws of logarithm. When it is addition, I will what? I will multiply. When two logs are multiplied, I can split them and make what? And split them by using addition. Not just only that, if it is a subtraction between two logs, what will happen? I can divide them. These are some of the laws we have. And if something is raised to power, I can bring it to the back. These are some fundamentals you need to grab under logarithm. And don't forget, I will take you to this area because these are the area they would like to take you. They know that if they give you normal logarithm and ask you to simplify or evaluate, you will do it properly and then you will just get your answer. They will not take you to where you have something of this nature, something like this, and they say it's equals to x. Maybe this is raised to power in base 3 and then base 4. They say find the value of x. This area, know this area. Know how to solve this kind of question. Under logarithm, know how to solve this kind of question. They will bring it because not everybody that know how to do this under logarithm. Then let's talk about bearing. Bearing. Wow. North, south, east, west. So I'm going to give you the key under bearing. When they said something move from here, from point B to T, something move from point B to T on a specific bearing, from point B to T, from point B to T on a specific bearing. Now, if the angle is an acute angle, we find here, if the angle is more than 90 but less than 180, you see it in this quadrant. If the angle is greater than 270, greater than 180 but less than 270, you see it in this quadrant. If that angle is greater than 270 but less than 360, that angle, you find it here. But don't forget their language, due north. So when you hear due north, they are telling you go up, or that is the north on the cardinal point, on the cardinal notation. This is north. So this is due north. If you hear due west, this is your west, on that the same line of the west. If you hear due east, move this way. If you hear due south, move this way. And then you now begin to follow the other instruction. These are the keys you must know. Acute angle is in the first quadrant. Obtuse angle, you see it in the what? In the second quadrant. And acute angle less than 90. Obtuse angle greater than 90 but less than 180. You see it here. When it is now greater than 180 but less than 270, you see it in this quadrant. When it is greater than 270 but less than 360, you see it in this quadrant. That's how you locate it. So from P, a point, P from T. Now don't forget, P from T The answer is always on, what they're asking to look for is always on this point. Always at this point. Always at this point. When you come to bearing, it's always at this point. So if I have something like this, and then let's say here was 120, and then here is our P, here is T. And they say, what is the bearing of P? What is the bearing of P from T? You see now, what is the bearing of P from T? Where my answer is 120. What is the bearing of T from P? This is where you will go to. And you must know this angle before you can calculate the bearing of P. So from here to here is already 180. You just get this angle by taking alternate angles, and then you go. So don't forget this secret. Due north, due west, due east, these are the things they will ask you to do. That is under bearing, and then you can actually find the distance. If you have to do with right angle, triangle, then use Pythagoras theorem. That is under bearing. Then, let's go to sequence. You must know your AP. You must know your AP. You must know your GP. You must also know when they ask you to, they can give you something like this. Let's say, insert two terms between this, and then find A and B. You must know this type, how to solve this type of question. That is under what? That's under sequence. And you get this under what? GP. This one is under GP. AP, you know your first time is equals to A. You must not forget all these formulas, because these are the things that will guide you. This stands for difference, number of terms. This is A. And you know that your first time is equals to A. Your second, this is first term. Your second term is equals to A plus D. Then your third term is equals to A plus 2D. So don't forget it. Third term, just like that, and be going. A. The next one will be A plus 3D. So don't forget that is under sequence. Under sequence, yes. GP. If it is GP, your first term, your second term, and then don't forget this is what you have. When this is equals to 1, so if this is equals to 1, you have this raised to power n. First time, if this is equals to 2, you have A minus this, yes. This is what you must not forget under your GP. A, and this is number of term minus 1. This one stands for first term. Arrow stands for what? Your common ratio. How do you get common ratio? Is division. Second term divided by the first term. Second term divided by the first term, you get your common ratio. So don't forget it. Then another thing, another topic, I will also let you to go to. Please don't forget your geometry. Go and grab the theories under geometry. That is the key. Go and grab. Two questions can never be the same, but you applied the theorem. Angle on the straight line, 180. Alternate angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Supplementary angles. That is, when you add two angles, what do you have? Add three angles, give you 180. So don't forget complementary angle. When you add two angles, give you what? 90 degree. Then, if it is something of this nature, and then you're asked to find, maybe here is 4. Don't forget, this is two interior opposite angles. Two interior opposite angles are what? They are also supplementary. That means if you add these two angles, they give you what? 180. And you can get this. So don't forget all this theorem. One exterior angle is equals to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. These are the theorems that you need to put it in you. When you have all these theorems, when you see the question, you test this theorem. Test the theorem. Before you solve, don't rush. Test the theorem. If I apply the will it work? No, this one, this theorem. You not test all the theorem. If you don't know the theorem, you cannot break through. If you don't know the theorem, under geometry, you cannot break through. So make sure that you grab all the theorems. There are more than 5 to 8 theorems. More than 5, yeah. Between 5, 8 theorems. Grab them and put in your good head. Then as you enter into that exam, you will see the question that has to do with each of the theorems. That will help you. That will help you to break through. And don't forget also your circle geometry. You know, circle geometry is very important. When a tangent and a chord form an angle, you know, the alternate angle, angles in the alternate segment is also equal. It's a theorem. Don't forget it. When two tangents meet at a point from an external point, the two tangents, they are equal in length. These are the theorem. When you grab this theory, I bet you, when you see the questions, the theorem will come to play, and then you apply, and you are good to go. That is under geometry. You need to know that one. Then, another thing I will not fail to tell you is a binary operation. a lot of students don't understand binary operation. If I were you, I would take time, sit down and look at my binary operations. Look at your binary operations, cumulative, associative laws, and then the distributive laws. Look at them, identity, inverse. When you bring all this together, I bet you, as you enter into the exam hall, you are also good to go. Another topic too, which I will not fail to tell you, number base. It's a number base. Number base. Not just binary, number base. In any base, know how to convert from one base to another. There are times they will give you something like this. They can give you 3, 0, 1, and then put a letter here, and then equals to 4. This is in base 10 and ask you for 5. Go and look at this type of question. How do you do? First of all, convert this one to base 10. You are good to go with this. And then you get the letter X. So number base is very important. There are some number base that lead to simultaneous equation. But I don't think, based on the time factor, they will take you up to this stage. But make sure that number base, you sit down and download your number base, understand it very well. You will see it in your exam. Then another topic which you are going to also see is trigonometry. Trigonometry. I repeat myself, trigonometry. They bring it. Mostly special angles. You will see them. So understand trigonometry very, very well. Understand trigonometry. If you understand trigonometry, when you see in the exam, you won't have problem. But if you ignore all what I'm telling you, you'll be put at the tight corner, because when you see it, you are on your own. You will get the answer. And I doubt your answer will be correct. So use this period now. Go to trigonometry. These are most repeated topics among them. Go to trigonometry, and you will surely skate through this exam. If and only if all these topics I gave to you listed, you will skate through in that exam. Don't forget what I said. Calculus. Another thing that just comes to my mind now is statistics. Jesus, don't forget this. Statistics. See, statistics. They don't forget. They don't play with statistics. And the area they go under statistics is your mean deviation, your mode, maybe under group data or under ungroup data. But most of the time, look at your variance, and standard deviation. They will just give you maybe 2 or 3 figures, and then ask you to find the variance or find the standard deviation from here. You must first of all get your mean. These are the areas you should go. You must first of all get your mean. Now, when you get your mean, begin to subtract from here. When you subtract, you square your answer. As you square your answer, you are there in what? You are there in variance. When you take the square root of variance, you have your standard deviation. These are the areas you must go. Under ungroup data like this, they ask you to find your mean median, and then also ask you to find variance and standard deviation, even mean deviation for a group data. And don't forget the formula: lower limit plus sum of the frequency divided by 2 minus frequency before this all over frequency of the mean, then multiply by your class or age, whatever they give to you, class width. This type of formula, don't forget it. They will give you. This one is for group data. So you must not forget this. Don't forget your variance. Don't forget your standard deviation. And then you can add range. You can also add range. For a range of ungroup data, they know you know that one. The biggest number minus the smallest number, you get it. What if they now take you to a group data? What becomes the range? I'm asking, what becomes the range? You have to look for the highest frequency. That's why you get your range, the highest frequency minus the smallest frequency. You get your range. That's why I say go to this area: variance, standard deviation, mode, mean median, and then mean deviation. And don't forget, anytime you are solving for your mean deviation and you discover that the numbers are negative, take the absolute mean, take the absolute mean deviation. I say take what? The mean absolute deviation. Yes. Take the mean absolute deviation. That is if you are having negative. Because if you continue that you did not take the absolute, I bet on you, your answer will be 0 and you can't get the answer. So take the absolute. Absolute means ignore the word, ignore the negative sign, and then add all your values, and then you are good to go and you get the answer. So go to this area, mean deviation, variance, standard deviation for group data and also what? For ungroup data. I repeat, go to mean deviation, go to variance, go to standard deviation for group data and also what? Ungroup data. Get the techniques like I told you. If it is like this, this is not group data, this is ungroup data. This is not group data. Group data has to do with when they give you a range of figure. Let me say 10 and then 11. This is the group data. So know how to find median under this group data and then also median under this what? Mean deviation under this ungroup data. That is the key. I've told you. Go and study. Take this information. Work by it. Success will be yours. And for all of us in Sigma Tech Consult Limited, we wish you good luck and success in your exam.